The 20th presidential election took place on November 8th, 1864, right down during the Civil War, so yeah, Americans were a bit preoccupied. By the summer of 1864, the North was gaining momentum. The South, aka the Confederate States of America, was retreating, not showing signs of giving up. By the summer of 1864, the North and the Southerners who were excited about the war now questioned the point of it, and they also questioned the point of the man who led them into the war, Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln was questioning his ability to get re-elected. This was the first time that a president wouldn't have been re-elected since Andrew Jackson way back in 1832, 33 years prior. Lincoln had made many enemies, especially in Congress, and even Northerners turned against him because of this. He was renominated despite potential challenges. But some Republicans who didn't like him split off. They called themselves, quote, radical Republicans, and formed a new political party called the Radical Democracy Party. They nominated John C. Fremont for president and General Douglas MacArthur for vice president, but their plan backfired as Fremont later ended up backing Lincoln when he was afraid that the Democrats might win. The Republicans actually formed a new political party too, called the National Union Party. Some Democrats even joined. Lincoln wanted to go with a new running this one, driving Hannibal Hamlin out of the race to broaden his support. He won with a Democrat. That's right, a Democrat. The National Union Party nominated Andrew Johnson, the current military governor, for vice president. Fortunately for the Republicans, the Democrats were even more split than them. The two major factions were the War Democrats and the Peace Democrats. Extreme War Democrats wanted to finish the job completely. Extreme Peace Democrats, aka Cowards, wanted to finish the war immediately. They nominated the War Democrat George McClellan, the General Lincoln had fired 2 years before, and General Douglas McClellan, the Peace Democrat, as his running mate. Though McClellan was for continuing the war, the two ended on a platform for ending the war, with McClellan's changing his mind to endorse him, gave Lincoln confidence he could actually get re-elected. And in fact, only 21 states participated in this election, as 11 states left the U.S.A. until the Civil War ended, but 3 new states were admitted to the Union: Kansas, West Virginia, and Nevada. And here are the results. Abraham Lincoln easily won the election. Abraham Lincoln won by a landslide. Lincoln received 212 electoral votes and 55% of the popular votes. Andrew Johnson became the 16th Vice President of the United States. George McClellan finished with 22 electoral votes and 44% of the popular vote. He won only 3 states, Kentucky, Delaware, and his home state of New Jersey. Lincoln was the first incumbent president to be re-elected since Andrew Jackson. By the time he was annihilated on March 5th, 1865, the Union forces were closing in on the Confederate leader, Robert E. Lee. Things were looking good for the Union, but Lincoln tragically became the first president to be assassinated just 44 days later. But the war ended soon after, and even though Lincoln didn't live to see, one main goal of his entire accomplishment was to preserve the Union, and that he did.